G'day guys, how's it going? I'm Aaron Whitnall. This is ACW Sport, and after what was an thrilling international break that saw 2-0 draws, so I guess it wasn't really that thrilling, the Premier League is back, and Week 12 sees some massive games, in particular one of the biggest derbies in the Premier League calendar. So here are my predictions for Week 12 of the 2017-2018 Premier League season, starting at the Emirates. The first game of the weekend is the North London derby. Arsenal hosting Tottenham Hotspur. And, well, I mean, there is just so much hype around this game because, obviously, we know how dominant Arsenal have been in North London over the past few decades, but how Tottenham in recent years seem to have started to overturn the power, and they seem to be the team that are on top, especially if you're going by last year's standings. So, going into this game, I think, look, let's face it, Tottenham are very impressive. I think they are title contenders. Arsenal, for me, just keep on, putting in performances and making tactical decisions that don't make any sense whatsoever, like Lacazette on the bench against Man City. But, I mean, look, in a derby, everything goes out of the window here. You have to forget about form and go by what happens on the day. It's not like any other kind of game in the calendar. However, for this game, I just think Tottenham, especially with their away record, are not going to lose this. I actually think Tottenham are going to run out 3-2 winners at the Emirates, piling lots of pressure on Arsene Wenger. I'm going to back Harry Kane to get a brace, and I'm going to back Christian Eriksen to get on the score sheet as well after his wonderful performance against Ireland for Denmark. I think he'll come into this game full of confidence, and I think he will get on the score sheet as well. As for Arsenal, I'm going to back Alexis Sanchez and Alexander Lacazette to score, but I think Lacazette will start on the bench because I don't think Wenger has learned from his mistakes so far. But we'll wait and see. Maybe he'll surprise me. But overall, I just think Tottenham have got too much strength for Arsenal. Going on to the 3 o'clock kickoffs now, starting at Leicester. They host, at the moment, the team running away with the Premier League, Manchester City. Under Claude Puel, they've put in 2 decent performances. Probably a bit disappointed they didn't come away from Stoke with a win. Now, look, against City at home, I expect them to put in a really good, solid performance. But overall, I just think City are going to have too much strength for them. I think it's going to be a tight game. I'm going to go Leicester City 2, Manchester City 3 here. I'm saying that because Leicester are under a new manager. He seems to have let the likes of Damari Graham, Riyad Mahrez kind of run free and give them a new life of energy. And I just think those two, along with Jamie Vardy, do pose City a threat with their speed. So I'm going to predict Mahrez and Gray to get on the score sheet, Gray or Vardy. To get on the score sheet, 2 of those 3. But I think overall City will win. I'm going to back Gabriel Jesus, Kevin De Bruyne, and I'm going to back Bernardo Silva to get on the score sheet this week for City as well. So they're my predictions for that game. West Brom, they host Chelsea. West Brom are desperate for a win. Chelsea, there's all this talk of, problems going on behind the scenes, but against Manchester United, they didn't really seem to show that. And I don't think they're going to show that against West Brom either. I think Chelsea will run out fairly comfortable. 2-0 winners in this game. I'm going to back Morata to get a brace here for Chelsea and just to get them back on to winning ways after obviously continuing their winning ways, after their big win against Manchester United and just keeping them ticking along in the race for the title. Liverpool host Southampton at home. Liverpool are a completely different animal at home as to the team they are away from home. They don't really concede at Anfield. They've got Mane back. Salah's obviously there. Coutinho's in form. Firmino's in form. And Southampton just don't really seem to score an awful lot. So I'm going to back Liverpool to run out 3-0 winners here at Anfield. I'm going to back Mane, Salah, and Firmino to all get on the score sheet, with Coutinho getting 3 assists for me in this game here. So they're my predictions for that one. A massive game at the bottom of the Premier League now. Crystal Palace hosting Everton. Now, if you had to ask me a few weeks ago what I think this score would have been, even though Palace obviously struggled to win, or have only picked up 1 win so far this season, let's be real, they have put in such good home performances that they have deserved more. It's going to be a really tough game for Everton. But I do think after picking up that much-needed win against Watford and in fairly lucky circumstances, it might be a turning point for them in the season. So I'm going to back them to edge Palace 2-1 at Selhurst Park. I'm going to predict Wilfried Zaha to get on the score sheet for Palace because he's the only person that seems to score for them. And as for Everton, I'm going to back Wayne Rooney and Calvert-Lewin to score for them. Now on to Burnley versus Swansea. Big game for Swansea because again, like Palace and Everton, they are desperate for a win. However, Burnley are just an amazing side so far this season. The real surprise package of the season so far. And I just see them running up fairly comfortable 2-0 winners at home in this game. I'm going to back Woods to get 2 on this occasion for them. And just to keep their season ticking along, piling more pressure, unfortunately, on Paul Clement. But I just think Swansea haven't got the strength to beat Burnley, who just seems so well organised under Sean Dyche. We then travel to another game down the bottom of the Premier League, Bournemouth versus Huddersfield. Bournemouth have picked up some big and much-needed wins recently, and I think they're going to pick up another big win here as well. I'm going to back them to beat Huddersfield 2-1. I'm going to back Josh King to get a brace in this game here for Bournemouth and to pick up another home win for them, easing more pressure on their manager and climbing them up the table because their season finally seems to be getting some traction going, and that's why I'm going to back them here. If it was at Huddersfield, I would have backed Huddersfield, but their home form and their away form, two kind of different things at the moment. And then finally on Saturday, it's Manchester United hosting Newcastle. United in a much-needed position for a win if they are going to keep any kind of closeness with City. Obviously, we know Tottenham have now drawn level on points with them. And before this game even kicks off, they could find themselves maybe 4th in the Premier League table, which is pretty scary for United considering how well their season started. They're going to need a big performance here. I think they're going to get it. After the last international break, they really struggled. I think they may have needed a break this time round to get themselves sorted again. Lukaku is back scoring for Belgium. He's become their all-time leading goal scorer, which I think will give him a whole load of confidence. And I'm going to back him to get a brace against Newcastle. I'm also going to back Marcus Rashford to get on the score sheet. And I'm going to see Manchester United run out 3-0 winners over Newcastle. I just think because they need such a big performance, because they're at Old Trafford and they look so good at Old Trafford, I think that's why they're going to get the win. So yeah, big performance for United is what is needed for Jose. On to Sunday, massive game for West Ham United now that David Moyes has taken over from Slaven Bilic. Big test as well away at Watford, who have been good this season and very unlucky in the previous few weeks. But I just think because they're under a new manager, they're going to want to prove a point. So I think Watford are going to find it hard to win this game. I'm going to go Watford 2, West Ham 2 in this game. I'm going to back Antonio and Hernandez to get onto the score sheet for West Ham. I'm going to back Doucouré and Richarlison to get on the score sheet for Watford. And then finally, on Monday, Brighton host Stoke, and Stoke haven't had a very good season so far. Brighton are flying, and I think in front of their own fans, they're going to continue that form. I see Brighton running out 2-1 winners over Stoke in that game. And they are my predictions for this weekend's Premier League fixtures. Please comment below, let me know. Do you agree with my predictions? What are your predictions? Let me know. As always, I am Aaron Whitnall, and I will see you after the weekend with my Premier League Week 12 review.